Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to set up a basic 4-Carabineer slackline system. The materials you're going to need, pretty simple. You're going to need 2 anchor straps. I made mine out of basic 1-inch webbing you can get at any climbing gym. Just tie a simple knot to make a loop. There's your anchor strap. Mine's about 5 feet long. The next thing you're going to need is the slackline itself. Again, basic 1-inch tubular webbing. Pick it up at any climbing gym. Mine's a 70-foot length. I've never needed this whole length, but I like to have the option in case I have really distant anchor points. Then you're gonna need, like I said, it's a 4-Carabineer slackline system, so you're gonna need 4 carabiners. I like to use basic aluminum, non-locking carabiners. They're cheap and they're strong enough for what this takes. So you need 4 of those. And you're going to need 2 line locks. I like to use rappel rings. I just have basic aluminum rappel rings that you can get at REI or some sort of specialized sporting goods stores. Might be able to find a better price online. Also, if you are going to be using organic anchor points, i.e. a tree, you're going to need webbing, padding. This protects the tree's circulatory system so it won't damage the tree's growth patterns. That's the equipment you're going to need for a basic 4-Carabineer slackline system. I'm going to be using a tree. Because it's organic, I'm going to need to use a blanket to pad the tree. I'm going to show you how to do that. Folded my blanket in thirds and then rolled it up from the end. This makes it easier to wrap the tree. So you're just going to hold it on. You want to do it about waist height. You're just going to place one hand here, holding it, and then unroll the blanket. You can see why it's easier if you have it rolled instead of folded. Then you're just going to do a little tuck. Now that's going to stay up on its own and I don't have to worry about it falling down. So now we're going to move on to setting the anchor straps. This is the static end of the slack line. So this is where you're not going to be tightening the line on this end. So it's pretty simple. Just take the line, put it around the pad. You want to make sure that the line is, or that the strap is only on the pad and not hitting the tree itself. Otherwise the pad's purpose is defeated. Okay, now you're going to take your carabiner, one of those 4 aluminum carabiners, clip it through, connecting these straps. So now we're just going to undo the line. We're going to throw it from this point of our static anchor. We're going to set up the first line lock so we can connect the line to the anchor point. This is where the rappel rings come in handy. So in order to do a line lock, you run the line through one way like this, up, over, and back through again. So you've made a loop around the end of the ring and through the middle. That hole right there, that's where you're going to connect the carabiner to, rappel ring. Now we're just going to connect the carabiner to the line, pull out that slack, and as you can see, that's not going anywhere. So now I've come down towards the second anchor point about 80% of the way. So now we're going to do our second line lock. To do that, we don't want that anchor strap on the far end to fall down. So I'm just going to step on the line here to keep that nice and taut. So again, we're going to use the same technique that we did before. We're going to make a bite in the line, just like that. Put the line through, over, so you get that second line lock set. Now we're going to use one of our other carabiners to snap through that same hole in the middle. Now our line is locked there. This is the dynamic end of our system because it's the one that's moving. So we have the 2 carabiners on this side and the 1 carabiner in the middle of the line that we did the second line lock on. These are the carabiners that are making up our pulley system so that we can tighten the rope enough to walk on. You're going to run the line first through the bottom carabiner on this end, through the bottom of the first carabiner, just like that. Then you're going to walk down here to the carabiner on the line. and you're gonna run that also through the bottom. See how I did that? Coming from underneath, running it through so it folds over the top of the carabiner. Then you're gonna be keeping tension on the line the whole time. Walk back over here, and this is where it's a little different. At this time, you're going to run this line through the top of this carabiner. So that way the line is going to be running back underneath the very top of the line. So again, keeping tension on the line the whole time, you're gonna come back down to this end of the carabiners, and you're gonna run it through the bottom of the carabiners. Just like that. What's different about this time is that you wanna make sure that the line gets underneath here, so you wanna separate these two and get that line that we just ran through in between that and the carabiner. Making sure it's lying nice and flat so you don't get any pinches in your line. Just like that. That way we can pull the line and the friction is going to hold it tight. Now that we've tightened the line as tight as we can, it's ready to walk on.